Welcome to Waste Not Wednesday with the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art. This week we're going to make homemade glue. I don't know about you, but I always end up finding dried up glue sticks and can't keep track of my bottle of Elmer's. Usually it's buried somewhere in one of my kids' rooms and they don't put it back where it belongs. So I found a recipe that we're going to give it a try, test it out, see what I think, and I'll give you a review on that. And then after that we're going to create out of boxes that we know everybody has just ready for the trash. So what I'm doing is finding, oh, that's upside down, finding ones that have the most colors, and I'm going to cut them up into small pieces so that I can make a mosaic out of them using the glue that's going to be created. I've taken quite a few different boxes that would have just went in the garbage. So a macaroni and cheese box, a pizza box, several cereal boxes, and cut them up into the small shapes. Once I did that, and as I was cutting them, I cut them into piles based on the color. So whatever there was the most of on that particular piece, that's what color I put it into the pile with. And now I have a whole handful of orange, and I've created a little envelope to separate those, and that way I know that those are my orange. I've got my yellow here from my Cinnamon Toast Crunch box, and I'll fill that envelope up with several other variations of yellow from other boxes. And now it's time to start creating. I have to decide what it is that I want to make and what colors will work best for that. Of course, if you don't want to spend a lot of time cutting up every color of the rainbow, if you pre-plan your design, that also would be helpful. I did not cut these up into smaller pieces because I thought they were pretty funny and I might use them somehow, we'll see, but not sure if that will become part of my artwork or not. What I have in front of me today is the glue that I made previously. It's quite a large bowl of it, and I have the whisk back again so that I can keep it from separating as I'm working on it. It is something that I kept in the refrigerator since it has that wheat base. I don't want it to start fermenting. I am going to cut the recipe down into a smaller version because this is great for a classroom setting, but I realized that it made a lot more than I need for just my individual needs. I took a thick cardboard box and I cut it. Now this is a tool that I discovered just in this past year, probably not a common thing in your household, but it was well worth the price if you have to cut cardboard a lot, and being an art teacher, I tend to do that. But it is just something I found on Amazon. It's a cardboard cutter and it slices through the cardboard like butter. So I did have that, and that made that a little bit easier so that I got nicer edges on my cardboard. Something else you might notice is there's lots of little pinpricks all over my cardboard because we have cats who love boxes. I mean, what cat doesn't? But that's okay because my project is a mosaic. So I'm gluing pieces on top of this and you won't even see those imperfections. The other thing I have in front of me are the envelopes of different colors that I've cut from recycled boxes. So I took cereal boxes, a pizza box, mac and cheese, I'm not sure what else, but anything that has that thin cardboard, and then cut them into random shapes and sizes. What I'll be doing to make a mosaic is piecing them together a lot like a puzzle. So with a Sharpie, I'm going to draw my main design onto here, just the overall outline, and then I'll be able to fill it in with those puzzle pieces. Having drawn my design on with the Sharpie, and notice I'm a sketcher, so that means I started and just kind of rearranged my lines or redrew my lines until I was happy with the shape. So anything that is not exactly where I wanted it is fine, it's getting covered up. Now I'm going to start applying the mosaic using the glue, and you can do that in two different ways. If you have a paintbrush at home and you don't like your fingers to be getting messy, you can paint this glue on, but if you don't mind that, I just dip my finger in and make sure that it's well covered where I am going to be placing each of my pieces. So I do it in small sections. So I'll be working on different colors in different sections of my mosaic. Notice that my drawing is also very wide, and I have large sections because my pieces are rather big. I don't want to work with anything too small and tedious. And as I am painting the glue on, I'm going to just work with small sections so that nothing is drying too quickly. So things are coming along. I got the main part of this done. I need to cover the background. Things I've learned as I've gone. The cardboard is going to tend to curl if you have pretty big pieces, but as it's drying, it's flattening out, so that didn't end up being a problem. I also discovered that the glue needs to be extra thick, so as I was putting it on, it was more of like a puddle than just a thin spread of it. So really goop that on there if you plan on using the homemade glue. If you have other types of glue, I'd go with an Elmer's versus a glue stick. It's going to stick a lot better and hold up so that you don't have little pieces falling off eventually. So I'm gonna stop and go ahead and finish this background and see what the final result looks like.